Welcome. Come, lay down comfortably, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to gently drift into a different time. Tonight, we'll take a quiet stroll through a Roman marketplace, a place of small wonders, soft conversations, warm bread, and rustling togas. Let your mind settle. There's no need to remember anything. Just follow the sound of the story. We're going back, far back in time, to a gentle morning in ancient Rome. The morning sun peeks shyly over the tiled rooftops of the eternal city. Rome is just beginning to stir. Soft golden light warms the stone walls, and a cool breeze drifts through narrow alleys and colonnaded courtyards. It's early, before the crowds, before the chatter, a perfect time for a stroll. You find yourself standing at the edge of a modest forum, not one of the grand imperial forums, but a local market nestled within a working-class neighborhood. This is where bakers, tailors, potters, and vegetable vendors gather, where senators rarely step foot, but where the real heartbeat of Rome lives quietly. The flagstones under your feet are worn smooth by sandals of generations past. A sleepy dog stretches beside a stoop. The smell of fresh bread hangs in the air. There is no rush here. You have all the time in the world. The first vendor you see is the baker. His stall is open already, a stone oven still glowing softly behind him. He's just set out trays of warm, round loaves, panis quadratus, those familiar flat-topped loaves with deep lines scored across them. The smell is irresistible. Toasted flour, honey glaze, maybe a hint of olive oil. A small boy bites into one and smiles, the crust crackling softly in the quiet air. Beside the loaves are honey cakes, fig pastries, and bundles of dried fruit tied with thin twine. You watch as an elderly woman chooses a bundle carefully, holding it close to her nose before nodding slowly in approval. The baker, with flour-dusted fingers and a kind expression, nods back with a warm salve. No coins exchanged yet, just quiet greetings and neighborly smiles. You're welcome to take a seat on a nearby bench, maybe just enjoy the warmth for a while. Moving down the row, the fruit vendors are setting up. Their baskets are made of wicker and filled with whatever is in season. Today it seems to be pomegranates, grapes, and pale green figs. Olives of every hue glisten in simple clay jars, some cured in brine, others marinated in herbs and vinegar. You overhear a conversation about the best way to keep figs fresh, spoken in gentle Latin phrases. One man insists wrapping them in fig leaves helps. Another recommends placing them in honey. They chuckle, softly, not to argue, but to enjoy the sharing of knowledge passed down like stories. Children play nearby with a small carved ball, laughter like birdsong, but never too loud. Everything here seems muted, hushed by the morning. The air smells of crushed herbs, maybe thyme or rosemary. Further down there is a pottery stall. Rows of amphorae line a long wooden shelf, large ones used for wine or oil, and smaller ones for perfumes and ointments. Some are plain clay, others painted with black figure scenes of gods and dancers. The potter is an older man with slow hands. You watch as he rubs a bit of ash from a vessel, then carefully turns it so the painted side faces the light. He speaks to a young girl about how this one was shaped by his father, and the painting added later by his uncle. The clay smells warm, slightly metallic. It's rough in some places, smooth in others. You trace your fingers along a carved design of ivy leaves spiraling around a jar's neck. This too is Rome, not marble palaces or bloody arenas, but quiet craft and the memories passed down in fired clay. The cloth merchant has just finished unrolling a bolt of fine linen. It drapes over the stall's wooden counter like water, pale ivory with a faint blue pattern running along the edge. Other fabrics hang from ropes above. Wool dyed in gentle hues, faded saffron, dusty plum, a soft shade of sea green. They sway slightly in the morning breeze. A woman fingers the fabric slowly, rubbing it between thumb and forefinger. The merchant doesn't speak, he simply watches her face. After a pause, she nods. He smiles faintly and begins to fold it carefully. There are no shouted prices, no haggling, just the quiet recognition of quality and trust. In the distance, a flute plays a simple tune, not from a stage, but from a street performer seated on a step. His melody rises and falls like birds in slow flight. Toward the quieter edge of the market, a scribal stall is opening. A middle-aged man in a simple white tunic is arranging scrolls and tablets on a low table. A small ink pot sits beside a goose feather quill. There are letters here, waiting to be sent, and contracts needing transcription. A boy, perhaps 11 or 12, is reading aloud in soft Latin, his voice barely above a whisper. His tutor nods with approval, correcting a word here or there. Next to them, a cage of doves coos softly. Carrier birds used to send messages across the provinces. Their feathers shimmer in the morning light, shifting from gray to silver as they ruffle and settle. Everything here seems designed not for spectacle, but for service. Quiet things, thoughtful hands, time taken slowly. You might sit a while and listen, or close your eyes and imagine the quill scratching gently against the scroll.